around the world. Today, we bring to you how coaches are being paid an hourly rate. We all work to an hourly rate, don't we? And it's restricting our growth. We don't have enough hours in the day. So our question is, we'll answer it for you as well. What are you doing about it? And in our session tonight, I'll introduce Rob to you in a minute. We are going to be looking at some of the everyday sort of marketing that is pushed across our desk. So we will be looking at Facebook challenges. We will be looking at building Facebook groups, funnels, and email lists, and all that sort of stuff. Now, we are doing this through StreamYard. So if you've got a question, you're very, very welcome to do that. I may not see your name. It may just come up as appreciate this. So if that was you, whoever that was, thank you very much.
Facebook user number one. Thank you for appreciating this.
I suppose, Rob, if we opened our phones up, we could have a quick look at that. I'm very, very pleased to share with you all. I'm with my business partner and longtime friend, longtime coach as well, Mr. Rob Yates. Rob, how the devil are you this evening?
Bloody marvelous. I'm 9 p.m. on a Sunday evening. Kids are asleep. I've had a great weekend, and I'm very excited for this evening and this week to come.
I'm looking at this as well. So you know what I'm doing? I've opened my phone. It was Kurt Poole, and Kurt is not a relative. Could be. Hey, Kurt, great to have you, mate.
Great surname.
Yeah, Kurt. I've known Kurt for ages. If this was a radio show, Kurt would be able to say, long-time listener, first-time caller. So we're going to get started in a couple of minutes' time. We're a little bit early, and we like to do that. And to be honest with you, I think I'm going to struggle looking at my Facebook, so I won't. I'll just look at the comments that come in on here. Rob, before we break into this, why are we doing this tonight? What have we got to show people? Because this is a real training tonight. I mean, there is an invitation to work with us, but this is real training. We're really going to show people a different reflection. Why are we doing it?
I think the advice and guidance for coaches growing their businesses out there is sketchy at best. I've been working with coaches now for 21 years as a professional, and I've been coaching for 31 years. And there's lots of stuff out there, and there's lots of things that coaches face, David. You know, you get the coach who's very, very set up their business, and they've got, 10 to 18 one-to-one clients. And, for some of those coaches, COVID has been a blessing. The C word has been a blessing, because I remember, I've got, as you know, until COVID, I couldn't work with you because I had a successful coaching business, which I still have now.
Yes.
A lot of my time was spent flying places to see clients, was spent driving places to see clients. And if you had a coaching business with 18 clients and you were going to their offices to see them, what that really meant is every client took up, 2 to 3 hours of a day, because you drive somewhere, see them, whatever else, and so on and so forth. And,
cool.
Even if, and then I did that for ages, and then I moved to my own premises. And I think I had 26 one-to-one clients on my books, seeing on a weekly basis, and they all came to see me, which was wonderful. Then on top of the 26, you've still got to administrate it. You've still got to go and do sales meetings. You've got to do onboardings. You've got to go and build your business. And then you've got to go and navigate all of those other things out there. People say you should have a signature program, and maybe group coaching is something you should be doing. And maybe. And between you and I, since I've known you, which is 4-ish years now, 5 years, crikey, we're still talking as well. That must be a good thing. We've tried between us pretty much everything.
Yes.
And we can pretty much identify what definitely will work, what definitely won't, and what, if you've got the right personality type, the right knowledge, the right experience, the right coaching ability, and the right clients could work. Because, there's some things that just some people just cannot pull off for all sorts of reasons. They're not ready yet.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. I've got to say, Rob, I mean, before we get into this, I think a lot of coaches are experiencing marketing support that would and does work exceptionally well outside of the marketing circle and outside of the single person operation. So, for example, maybe you've got you sell software as a business, and maybe you've got several employees. There are certain strategies out there that are far more aligned to working with them, and maybe I'm thinking about ad spend here and things like that, and rather than the single coach, which I mean, I would say that most coaches operate by themselves. Well, I think a lot of us are being encouraged to take a sledgehammer to crack open a walnut, and I think that's going to be seen quite a bit tonight.
Here's the other interesting thing. So, David, as you know, in my other business, outside of Going Beyond the Illusion, I work mostly with financial service professionals. Mostly. I'm an elite performance coach for the people in that industry. And what I find very interesting is as I wander around the United States, Canada, the UK, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, there's lots of financial professionals, financial advisors, financial planners. Do you know what's really very interesting? Is that the exact strategies that people are told to use as coaches, the carbon copy of them is exactly what's being told to financial advisors they should do.
Interesting.
Even though, yeah, and it's a carbon copy. It's like the same Facebook, the same LinkedIn strategy, the same marketing verbiage, the same lack of appreciation of what it is that this professional actually does for who and why, with what outcomes. What end point in mind? So, I went to a financial advisor webinar the other day just to go and see what financial advisors were told to be doing about marketing. And it was all around, lead magnets and Facebook groups and for free Facebook groups and running Facebook ads. And I was like, this is very strange because I've heard all this before, but not in this environment, in that environment that I do with David.
Copy and paste.
Yeah. And here's the thing, David. I honestly think that coaches are powerful, unique human beings who work with other powerful, unique human beings. And if all of that is to be true, there should be a unique solution for them in terms of offering that service to people and marketing it to people as well. And that's what we're going to be looking at tonight, I believe.
Yes, we are. So shall we crack on now? Everybody who's joining us live, if you'd like to ask a question, you can actually start by saying hello, where you're from. We appreciate that. We see that. And we don't always see your names, though. Somebody just put up exhausted with my free group. Yeah, sorry to hear that. And it's part of the research that I've been doing over the past few years. And you're not on your own. I can assure you there. Everybody's saying higher. Just tell us who you are because we only see Facebook user. Right. Okay. So are we ready? It's how to stop trading your time for money and worrying where your new clients are coming from, because let's face it, we've all been exhausted and we need to recession-proof our business as well. Even out of recession, we need to recession-proof our business. A good entrepreneur will make sure they have diversity within their business. And an economic point of view of diversity isn't what we see in the mainstream media of 2022 and 2023. Different type of diversity. So hello from Tonya and Nicole from Illinois. Great to have you all here. Right. Okay. Before we start, there's a very important message I want to share with you. Well, there would be. Looks like this is not. These slides are supposed to play audio. And it's not playing the audio. That's a bit of a doozy. That's a shame. What I'll do is I'll have to look at this at the end. This is Mr. Edward Addison, and this lady here is Katerina, who have explained to you why you should be listening to us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see how to stop sharing these slides. Ta-da! Look at that. I'm going to do it a different way. I am going to see, Rob, how to do a blinking slide. How do I?
You share your screen and then pop WhatsApp up on the screen.
There
You can share
we go. I'm going to do it this way. Share my screen. And you're going to...
Hey, we've got Garrett joining us from California. Is that Garrett Claire or something like that?
Yes.
Claire?
Yes. Right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Fantastic. Right. Well, we're going to...
David, hit slideshow. Hit slideshow.
I am doing. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Everybody to listen to this because it is fantastic. It's not about testimonial. It's about what Edward says that all coaches need to hear.
You're about to hear from my coaches, David and Rob, and I really think that you should listen to what they have to say. For 7 years, I've been a therapist, and I've been trudging through the marshes of business and online coaching, struggling away to find the next client and keep hold of them and deliver the service that I can deliver as a therapist. But it's really hard to go out there and reach people and keep people. That's when I met David and Rob, and things changed because they tell me how to get clients, how to find clients, how to keep clients, how to market better, how to really love what I'm doing and have that love transfer to the clients. So if you've got some spare time and you're willing and you're ready for your business to reach new heights, then I would listen to what these guys have to say. It's changed my life. It's changed my business. It's changed everything about how I work, who I work with, how I go about the business side of my life. It's literally the best thing that I've ever done in regard to business. So if you have the time, spend some time listening to these guys. They know what they're talking about, and they're awesome too.
And we're awesome as well, Rob.
We are.
So I want to show you Katerina as well. And really, it's the words that they are saying there that's really important. It's not about me and Rob. It's about his journey because it's the same as your journey. Katerina is the same. These are real people, real coaches, just like you. Listen to their journey.
My coaching practice divides between the time before I met Rob and David and the time since I have been working with Rob and David. The time before is a lot of misinformation, chaos, and unnecessary spinning of the wheels, where since working with Rob and David, I have been able to comfortably translate the group of potential clients that I already had into a high ticket paying group. And if that sounds interesting to you, and if you have been stuck for a few years without being able to produce significant results in your coaching practice, I suggest that you tune into the training that Rob and David are offering this evening. And I promise you that you will not regret it. Your smile will be as big as mine in 6 months' time.
Thank you, Katerina. That was fabulous. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the sharing. I'm going to jump back into StreamYard, and then we're going to do the slides again because I like to see our faces next to the slides. It was so important to share Edward and Katerina with you because you see business coaches out there and full of the talk. You can do this, do that, and do the other. The proof in the pudding are our colleagues, our associates, our cohorts who are in the same boat as us. There's a couple of points, Rob, I've pulled out from there. Edward was talking about lovable content, and Katerina was talking about going from the misinformation. In fact, Edward was talking about saving time and how he saved lots of time by working with us. And I can actually tell you, his group is, well, he's got a lot of people in his group, and it fills out his diary. It's the same with Katerina. But with Katerina, Rob, she was talking about going from misinformation and chaos and being stuck to be able to translating those prospect clients into real clients in her business. And that's where she is right now. So everybody, I want you to listen to what Katerina said. She went from misinformation and chaos, and that's where most coaches are. And what happens is you're spinning the wheels. I think Katerina said that, or Edward said that. And we're wasting time. We get bogged down with all these different systems from all over the place, and we don't really get that far. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I'm just going to move on to the next slide, which is this one. Rob, who's this presentation for?
Well, all sorts of people. I just want to say we've got Tonya in the group, who is one of our coaches. She's here with us. She is one of our coaches who's with us this evening, a client of ours. And she says, the support of David and Rob has changed my enthusiasm. I am ready for success. And that's just, that's just people who we coach on a regular basis who have, we have a whole load of other Tonyas out there. Tonya, thank you so much. And you might be ready for your success. We certainly are expecting it. So who is this for? This is for coaches who have already got themselves a business that's up and running. They are a coach. They've identified as a coach, probably got a few customers, although maybe not. But certainly somebody who sees this as their career path, as opposed to like a waning hobby that they may or may not do. It's certainly for people who are ready to go and actually separate their time and money paradigm into a new equation, where they actually get to enjoy all of the reasons why they became a coach, as opposed to just creating a job in their own business for themselves, where they exhaust themselves treading water and don't really get all of the benefits of, being able to go and sit by the river and drink a glass of wine on a Wednesday afternoon because it seems like a nice thing to do because you've actually got the time guilt-free to go and do it. Coaches who really want to build impact for themselves, David, and want to get like Daron, who we've spoken about earlier. Well, we haven't quite mentioned him earlier, but 30, 40 clients in his coaching business at this point in time. Done that since 2 clients in January. Edward, roughly the same. It's people who actually want to go and achieve stuff like that for themselves or more. That is who it is with tonight is for. If you want to have some fun and actually learn what really is involved in building a great coaching business, as opposed to all of the noise out there.
Fun, absolutely. Fun, fresh, exciting, where we're in control and we're not lost in this vacuumous, isolated space of chaos. And it sounds kind of strange for chaos to be aligned with being a vacuum, but when there is chaos there, we do feel that we are absolutely out on a limb. So if you're exhausted or been feeling exhausted by the challenge ahead of you, and you've been thinking, I've quit my job to do this, and really I ought to be back at work because it pays more and less stress, then yes, you want to be watching this tonight, because you will feel exactly in, how do I put it? It's just right for you. Right. So why are you here tonight? Rob, why do you think they're here tonight? Because they've seen presentations before. They're probably all scared to death it's a sales pitch, because we've been on presentations where it's just blood and thunder and nothing's really been shared with them. Why do you think they are here today, Rob? Because I think that's important for them to absolutely recognize in their self-discovery of moving themselves forward. Because it's okay looking at the light at the end of the tunnel, but you've got to know where you are right now in a position to be able to move yourself forward. So where are they, Rob?
So I think there's, firstly, there's a recognition that they'd like to move forwards, that you, the coaches out there, want to move forwards. You would like your life and your business to be subtly or maybe even profoundly different to how it currently is. You'd like to be able to have greater opportunity for yourself and greater opportunity for your clients. And in addition to that, you're highly curious about, is there another way? Maybe you've reached the point where you've tried lots of stuff and you're not getting the traction that you want. Maybe you've got a Facebook group of 100, 200. I had one of 17,000 at one point in time, and you're struggling to go and do what everybody says should work. You know, you build the free group, give it lots of value, offer them your products, and then they all flood in and swipe their credit card at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And maybe you've got that group, and you're struggling to turn it into something that's real for yourself. Well, you know, David, the other thing that I wonder is, you know, maybe they're just wondering, you know, if I lose a few clients, where are my new clients coming from? You know, where are they hiding and how do I find them? And I think people are curious about what we've got to say. Like, have we got something for them that's worth paying attention to? Now, you and I both know we have. But I'd encourage you folks to stay out there and keep watching, because I'm going to promise you we have something that is going to fulfill that curiosity that you've got.
And of course, if you've got questions, please fire the questions up, because we'll be able to bring them on screen. You'll be able to answer them. So I've got to say, I like coming from a position of transparency. Why are we here? Why are Rob and I here tonight on a Sunday evening? I'll be absolutely straightforward and honest with you. I love what I do. Rob loves what he does as well. We're so lucky. We're two English guys. He lives on an estate with some mountains in South Africa. I live in Cognac in France, walking up and down by the river. We absolutely enjoy it. We love exploring our lives. We are here for our true paths. And you know what? While we're exploring ourselves and expanding our own lives, we want to spend more time with our families. And I don't think that you're any different. Rob, would that be close to what you think your personal goal is?
Yeah, my personal goal is all about quality of life. That's it. The quality of life. And I've made lots of money in my life, and that's cool. But really speaking, I really love working with people and helping people be the very best version of themselves. Yeah. And I think everybody here does exactly that as well.
So I think your goal for this presentation, well, I was going to say your goal, I'm not talking about Rob. I'm talking about everybody else there. Rob, what are their goals tonight? I mean, let's lay this down on the line. Everybody, I'm going to treat you like a 5-year-old right now. So forgive me for this. Rob, the people who are watching, what are their goals tonight?
So if I was to encourage people to have a goal, it would be something around paying close attention to what it is that we share, because this is training. And yes, there's an opportunity to work with us, but it's not a sales pitch. This is literally training. So follow this and take notes and get as much information for yourself down as possible to help yourself in your business and your clients as well. I'd also say that a goal is to consider that if there's a whole bunch of stuff in our business to this date that we spend time on but doesn't produce results, maybe something we can find out tonight is like how we can put some stuff down and maybe save ourselves some time and pick some other things up to go and do that is more effective and efficient. And David, maybe easier and gentler as well. More, actually, David, I'm going to lay it all on the line. Your goal tonight is to take from us how you can get new customers into your business and keep them by simply being a world-class coach. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Robin, you have to write that down because I'm going to have to edit. I'm clearly going to have to edit the slides now sometime in the future. But I've got some goals for you as well. I mean, we've all got mailing lists, haven't we, in some way, shape or form. That might be your Facebook group. It could be your following on TikTok or Instagram and what have you not. And I think we need to try and start waving goodbye to those mailing lists and have people in buying lists, which you'll know as being paid subscribers. So we want to show you tonight on how to get paid subscribers. And a great goal tonight is to show is for you to understand how you can create that paid following by using the impact to income hero method by going beyond the illusion. Going beyond the illusion is us, guys. Right. Okay. You're getting used to StreamYard, finding out where the next button is. But collectively, Rob, as coaches, I put this slide in on purpose because I think it's important that we see ourselves from not isolation, because we often work at home alone, and it's us in these four walls, so to speak, but actually collectively, our challenges are very, very similar. Now, I've written a few down here, Rob, such as we all want to increase our income, but we want to reduce our workload. We want to have more time with our families, and we don't want to have complicated processes. And we want to be able to bring people on board, Rob, without having to sell. Whatever, where can you come in on that, Rob? What do you got to say about it?
My greatest desire as a coach is that people recognize future clients recognize what I can do for them, contact me, and are ready to buy what it is I've got to sell. Like that's my greatest desire as a coach. And I would guess that almost everybody who's joining us this evening or this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are in the world, has a similar desire. And at worst case, like we all know that we have to do something to sell our services. At some point in time, you have to have the money conversation. It's going to be this much. We want that conversation to be as easy and comfortable as humanly possible without having to do objection handling and all that stuff. I mean, to be honest, David, in the coaching world, if coaches are facing themselves having to think about doing objection handling, then frankly, they're learning stuff that's wrong for them, because you shouldn't have to be doing that. You should just be demonstrating how great your coaching is and people will want to buy from you.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be a case where people look at you and go, do you have any availability? That's where we want people coming in at. Rob's just muting himself there. He's having a bit of a sneezing fit. I was coughing a few minutes ago. I'm coughing again. It'd be interesting to see, by the way, everybody who's watching, if you can tell us what your biggest challenge has been. It'd be very interesting to see that. So please stick it in the comments and we'll see you pop up as a Facebook user. Right, before we crack on, you normally see testimonials when people have got, hey, come and buy my product. Here's a testimonial, shows you that it's good. We also encourage that you put out testimonials when you're sharing information. Why? Why should I listen to you? So when you're on stage, so you could be out there on stage speaking to somebody, never mind on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, have some testimonials, because people want to know, why should I be listening to you? And, I won't go through all of this here, but Melissa wrote this for both Rob and I. She was feeling overwhelmed and stuck in a rut. She knew that she had the potential to achieve more. I didn't know where to start. Came to us, and I can tell you, by the way, inside about 4 weeks, Melissa went from 0 clients to 17 clients. 5 weeks. And during that time, she took 2 weeks off to move from one side of Canada to the other. Right, let's move on to the next slide. Oh, there you go. It's Melissa again, talking about you, Rob. I like this though, but genuinely caring, because if you're going to listen to somebody, if you're going to believe in that person, you want to know that person has values, has morals, comes to the table in the right way. Anyway, Rob, when we started to put together where we are right now, in how we help people, how we show coaches on how to bring in clients where they don't have to sell, where they don't have to do the marketing and creating the offer and the rest of it. Some of it, Rob, was what me and you do quite often, because you are like me and you go out and buy books. Your library is bigger than mine. The thing is, though, Rob, when you go on Amazon, and we've all done this, right? You've all been on Amazon. Rob, I know you do this all the time, right? You go on Amazon, and you're having a browse for a book. Sometimes you go on Amazon because you're looking for an answer, specific answer, but sometimes you're just going for a bit of a browse. I might want to learn something in NLP today. But what we do is we see a book and we buy it. We just pick it up off the shelf, don't we? And you do this in the airport as well. When you go to the airport, and I don't know the last time when you went to the airport, there's always bookstores there. You go in there, pick it up. We don't even think about it. And I thought that was really interesting, Rob. It is a straightforward purchase. And I'm thinking, what can we learn from that?
People, you're buying a book, you're looking to buy a solution, right, of some sort. Yeah. You're looking to, and even if that's a fictional book, you know, a good storybook of some sort, you bought it to solve a problem for yourself of filling time and imagination and creativity, and, you know, and maybe enjoying your vacation and reading it with a glass of wine or whatever it is. But a lot of people buy books to solve a today problem. You know, if somebody's struggling with parenting, then they may well buy a book on parenting. If somebody's struggling with sales and marketing, they may well buy a book on sales and marketing. Somebody's struggling with whatever it may well be. Out of curiosity, we've been taught at schools to go buy a affordable product to listen to or to read. And if the book's good enough, you know, David, the book I've listened to most recently is Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil, right?
Right.
I bought it on Audible for not very much money. Well, it's part of my subscription-y thing, you know, those, whatever it is. You know, the really cool thing, that book's brilliant. I have recommended that book to every single client I'm working with currently. Right. And to loads of family and friends, probably like 50 or 60 people. Like, I've actually making Napoleon Hill. If Napoleon Hill ran a coaching business to the value of how much he sold a book for on a monthly basis, you know, that's whatever it may well be. Like, I'm there flipping referring clients to him the whole time because that book is so good. And it just occurred to me that, if, you know, he's got a really expensive coaching business, but if he had something that was the same price as his book, like, he's got a referring client in me. But I bought the book for a reason, because it got recommended and I was curious about what problem the book could solve for me.
And it was cheap enough to buy. It was pin money. It was, I've got that, I'll go and get it. So the penny, ladies and gentlemen, started to drop for Rob and I. There's a few things I want to share with you that really helped us create what we've got today with our clients. That's part of the story. Here's another part of the story. Facebook groups. Now, we're in a Facebook group right now. And when we created this one 4 years ago, landscape looked an awful lot different in 2019 as it does to 2023. However, there are some similarities. When we looked at Facebook groups, not just ours, but our clients, and we observed Facebook groups, engagement rate, Rob, seems to be very low. And Rob, I have a question for you. You're being offered something for free and continually being in an environment where you're being offered something for free. So, Rob, you might offer this free opportunity just once, but you're in a theatre where everybody else is also offering free opportunities. What does that tell our audience? What sort of conditioning does it create?
Well, it's interesting because it's not just the for free. Because what happens when it's for free is that you go and find a Facebook group, right, to solve a problem. Mm-hmm. And let's just say it's fly fishing, because you want to be better at fly fishing. I don't know why that's relevant, but let's just say it's fly fishing. And you go and join, I don't know, 2, 6, 8 fly fishing groups because you want to go and solve your problem of fly fishing. You want to find communities to talk to. So firstly, a free Facebook group, because there's zero barrier to entry other than putting in a fake email address and answering and promising to adhere to the rules of the group, right? Because that's normally what happens. Like, fake email address, I promise to stick to the rules of the group. And from a customer's perspective, there's no barrier to entry other than that. So I'm going to join 6 or 8 around the same topic. Which means that if you run your Facebook group, you need to appreciate that every single person in your Facebook group is in at least 8 others. And that means that your messaging is watered down by the power of 8. That's or 10, or whatever it may well be. I mean, that's
only within the theme of the subject. I mean, that's it. I mean, you could have there could be one for computers, there could be one for clothes and fashion, or one for personal development, or whatever you not.
Well, if I look at my Facebook newsfeed, I want you all to do the same, because if you're listening to this and watching this, I want you to do the same. I want you to consider this. As you think about Facebook and Facebook groups and pages, things that you've liked and followed or joined, right? Those things. So me personally, David, I'm an elite performance coach. I've been coaching for 30 years. So guess what? I'm in a whole bunch of coaching Facebook groups, right? I originally started off in high performance sport. So I've still got a very big passion and interest around high performance sports. So guess what? I'm in a whole bunch of groups around high performance sports. I love business, marketing, and sales. So I'm in a whole bunch of groups and businesses for that, right? So that's just 3 subsets. I then live on a big ass property on top of a mountain in South Africa. Many people would call it a homestead, where I grow all of my own vegetables. I have chickens, I have a forest, I have all sorts of things. I'm in a whole bunch of groups for that. And then I'm a dad who loves traveling with his family. I've got a whole bunch of groups for that. Now, that's 5 different subsets as a minimum that I've mentioned. And I'm going to guess that I've probably joined, liked, or followed over 10 things for each one of those, plus the noise of my 2,000 friends.
Gets lost. Absolutely gets lost. So what we're doing is, if we want to, a lot of coaches going out there like, let's go and create a free Facebook group. But what Rob's explaining there is, you become a grain of sand on a beach. You just get completely lost. And we are creating, and we're in a zone of Pavlovian classical conditioning. If you know anything about Pavlov's dog, he rings a bell, the dog salivates, and the food arrives. Free Facebook groups, people arrive for free content. Moving them from free content to paid content is tricky. You've also got to take some time to actually convince people to join your group. And they might not even turn up. That's not easy. It's not easy. And here's the other thing. People can buy from Facebook groups. I've sold from Facebook groups, and I've also bought from Facebook groups. But having spoken to many people, I would say that if you're going to sell in a Facebook group, it's probably within the first 72 hours. Ideally, within the first 12 to 24 hours. Because after 72 hours, they've forgotten you. So that was another seed. So you think about the books in terms of, oh, right, yeah, I've got a problem. I'll go out and go and buy a book off Amazon. I'll just go and get it. Think of that. Then we think about these Facebook groups. And then
David, can I just jump in around Facebook groups just very quickly, right? And this is all social media platforms. Okay, now I know we're using them now, but if you were to be a really sensible business owner, you would risk manage your business, and you would have as much control as possible of your business and your livelihood and your customers' futures in your control, right? What happens when Facebook says we don't want you to be in Facebook anymore, and suddenly they ban your account and you lose everything you've built?
All the data.
TikTok can do the same. Instagram can do the same. LinkedIn, YouTube, they can all do the same. Now, I know that we're in groups now. I know that we're here on social media. And David and I are very consciously aware of that risk. But if you have all of your business in a Facebook group, a free group or a paid group, what happens when Mark Zuckerberg says, I don't like George Smith anymore, the coach? I'm actually going to go and are going to go stop them using it, and suddenly you lose everything you've built.
And it happens.
Hmm.
The other paradigm, I'm going to call it here, Rob, when I was looking at marketing. So we can go out there, and we go and buy these books really cheaply, just like that. It's no problem. $15, $20, $25. I look at Facebook, and we're encouraged through these Facebook groups, and we've just discussed that. But another paradigm, Rob, is that we are being told that we should charge what we're worth. And I think that is completely contradictory to coaching. I think it's the wrong question. I think because I get what they're saying, earn more money. That's what they're saying. The right question is, it's not about charging more, because if you charge the earth, people are not going to join you because they don't have it, right? And we want to be able to impact people. The question's wrong. What we need to be doing, Rob, is looking at the model so we can bring people in and we can earn the money that we need by literally tweaking the model. Rob, what do you think?
I think so. I think there's a sweet spot, right, of having enough revenue, money coming in, so that you're building a real business for yourself. I think that's definitely so. I get the message of charge what you're worth, but I think it's the wrong terminology.
Yeah.
So there's enough income so you genuinely can grow at a reasonable rate. There's then understanding how you break rapport with clients if you sell them to a place of financial awkwardness, right?
Okay.
Well, the core essence of being a coach is to enable and hold rapport, right? That's the core essence. And coaching isn't possible unless you can do that. If you force somebody to take actions for themselves, that even if they are for their own benefit, that they end up with a bad taste in their mouth or even a degree of buyer's remorse, what they actually end up with is we've actually broken rapport with them, which means that we're actually breaking the core essence of being a coach.
All right.
Now, that changes. Now, here's the thing. Like, let's just say, David, that I'm worth $50,000 a year for my services on a one-to-one basis, right? Just as a number, right?
Yeah.
If a client says to me, Rob, can I pay you $50,000 for this year's servicing, please, for this year's coaching? And I say yes, right? That's me charging what I'm worth and what the client believes me to be worth. If, however, I have to convince the client to give me $50,000 because they don't really know, like, and trust me enough yet, so on and so forth, and I have to objection handle like some sleazy used car salesman to get them in, and then I have to suggest to them that they need to go into their overdraft, a line of credit, or take a credit card out to go and actually afford my services, I think that is distinctly breaking rapport. And I think that goes against the core ethics of being a coach, because coaches are not used car salesmen, and they shouldn't be.
We've got a Facebook user. I can't see the name. I think it's Helen. I think it's Helen Jacobs. She said, it's interesting. There's been a huge shift where she's been doing this for a number of years, but been criticized for it because she's not been playing the game. She's not been playing that circus, and it literally is a circus out there of this is what you should do and this is how you should do it. I'm absolutely sure it's Helen. Hey Helen, if it's not, let me know who it is. We don't have to charge what we're worth. Yes, it's me, she says. Thank you. We don't have to charge what we're worth, $100 an hour or $500 an hour, what have you not. We can be smart and we can tweak what we do. We can tweak what we do. Now, I do believe there is we could talk about commitment, making sure that people stay for a longer term and that sort of stuff. And that's a story for another day. But what I've got here for you, if you look back these last three slides, buying books, people, nice, easy decision. They've got a problem. So today problem, right, Rob? And they want a today solution. The Facebook groups and charging what we're worth. Bringing those three things in together, that helps us to create the impact to income method. That is where we are right now. This is where the seeds change start to come into this presentation for you. Every slide, it's our intention to shed a little bit of light for you. So what we've done so far is we've talked about Facebook. We've talked about how we've seen what's happening in Facebook. We've talked about how we've seen them in charge what we're worth, and also how easy it is to go out there and buy a book. And this is what we sat down and we came up with. If somebody can go out there and buy a book like that, Rob, why can't we just have simple conversations with people? No, not discovery calls, Rob. A simple conversation saying, do you know somebody with this problem? Because here's a solution. And here's the very, very low fee from it. The low fee. We're talking $1 a day. We're talking a bit more than the price of a book. You go and buy 2 books, you're going to spend $30. You often buy 2 books at the same time. And this is what we've knitted together with our clients. Can you just quickly explain a little bit about how this feeds Katerina's business, how it feeds Doran's business, and how it feeds Edward's business, please, on how we've knitted this together where they've got a $1 a day group, and then people just start to elevate them way up through their services that they offer?
Well, there's all sorts of things going on at the same time.
Okay.
But firstly, there's a lot of marketing claims out there about how good coaches are and how good we are as coaches. And I firmly believe there's a lot of incredible coaches out there. There's equally a whole bunch of con artists. If somebody can come in and give us a try for a low amount, so let's say $31 or a month or $1 a day, or maybe a bit more than that, but something as low as that. It gives us the opportunity to prove to them that we're as good as we say we are.
Yeah.
Number one, right? So it cuts out the noise. And that means for the clients, they're not making a risky purchase when they buy into a more expensive product, because they say, well, cool, if Jessica can help me get from A to B for this amount, for that amount, they can now go and help me do like a B to T. Do you know what I mean? The rest of the alphabet, pretty much.
Yeah.
For a large amount of money. So the risk for them in buying from you is much, much, much less, because we've built the trust that we are as good as we say we are. The second thing, David, is, you buy one book and it takes a while to read.
It does.
What we're actually doing is helping the client gain transformational focus for themselves, in as much as if they're going to buy in at $31 a month or $1 a day or $2 a day even, or $3 a day, whatever it is that's right for you and your niche, if they're going to buy from you at that amount, they're not going to group hop like in free Facebook groups with all of these things. They're actually going to put their focus in on themselves and solving their problem for you, just like if they bought a book to listen to or read, there'd be a commitment. I mean, the Outwitting the Devil I mentioned the other bit, I think it was 12 hours to listen to, right? It's a 12-hour commitment.
Yeah.
And then as people get to know, like, and trust you more, you can open your diary up and say, I've got some capacity for some one-to-one times, or I've got a higher price mastermind with far more in-person contact, or whatever it is that's right for them. And as you say, David, here, like 33 people, it's not can probably pay you 5,000 to 10,000 rand a month. Deron, who's with us, has got 36 people in his group, and he's 100% at the top end of this after just a few months. Yeah. This is it, because this isn't now a sales process that people are going into in terms of buying your more expensive stuff. They're saying, I now have clarity over what problem it is I'm facing. I trust that you, based upon what you've already done for me, can achieve these next series of results I'd like. I'm ready to go. I even know what your prices are. and now please, can I sign up for your services? You know, David, I've got a group. It's a bit more than $1 a day, but I've got a group for financial advisors in South Africa that I run. You know this, my Wednesday morning time that I do. And you know, I had a financial advisor call me 3 weeks ago saying, Rob, I get all this, but my head, I just can't keep my head straight. There's so much going on at home. You talk about this performance coaching. What I need is real help with clarity in my life. Can you help? And I went, of course I can. He said, and I know that you're expensive. So I know that my 12 sessions is going to cost me $6,000, but I'm ready to go. Can we start next week? And that's the conversation that came out of my group.
No sales call. They're just asking you, when are you free?
Yeah, it's like not even a discovery call. He said, can I have 10 minutes of your time, please? Right. And I was like, of course. On the phone, he tells me what he wants. Basically he asks for the invoice there and then, and there's no what are your goals, or you know, that usual discovery call process. What are your goals? Ask them the questions, get them to tell what their struggles are and their pain points are.
Bought into you, believes
That's
you,
it.
understands you, been paying the $30, $50 a month or whatever it is, and goes, right, okay, I've got this bag of rubbish on my shoulder that I need to get rid of. You're the guy. I know what you charge. Are you free?
That's it.
Isn't that where coaches all want to be? I mean, because what a lot of coaches do, bless them, is they run out and we go out and do these challenges. Oh, I want to go and get some clients in, Rob.
The 30-day challenge.
A 30-day challenge or a 5-day challenge, whatever. And we go out, Rob, putting all this time and effort into writing a challenge or writing my challenge out and doing, oh, I'm ever so busy, I'm studying, I'm doing my challenge, oh, I'm launching it next week. So then they go out, rushing out to trying to launch it, trying to get people into the challenge. And then there's no guarantee of anything. Yet, what they could have done, Rob, is just had nice little conversations with people where they said, look, and we're talking literally a conversation. Do you know anybody who is like this and needs that in their life? Because I've got a $1 a day group that solves the problem. It's no different to buying a book off Amazon. So rather than spending, I don't know, 20 hours, 40 hours, 60 hours, 3 weeks, 4 weeks on getting people, you know, creating your challenge, getting people into your challenge, delivering your challenge, surely it's better to do something like this. It's the same with the free group as well, Rob. I mean, you've got a group. Well, you had a group for the old going, we go outdoors. I mean, how much time did you actually put into actually trying to get people into that group?
Put huge amounts of time, huge into getting people in, huge amounts of time massaging them while they were in there, huge amounts of time working really, really, really hard to try and convert them into paying clients. And here's the thing, David, that group is a niche that I know inside out and backwards. Like I was a world-class kayaker. I know the adventure sports world pretty much better than most people, right? Yeah. And I couldn't, we not just I, but we couldn't convert. You know, I think at the moment that if people are converting from clients out of Facebook groups at anything better than 1%, they're either a genius or they're telling us lies.
Well, look, I've got this next slide up as well. I want you to tell me how our method, impact to income, is better than a funnel.
So first of all, the interesting thing is a lot of this stuff is, it's very time consuming, right? So you don't get the feedback that you need. So, you know, let's just take a web page. All of us have been on a web page for a product that we're curious about, right? And as we engage in that web page, we either buy the product or we don't, right? That's literally the actions that happen. Maybe if that web page, and a funnel is a series of web pages, right? maybe if that web page is really sophisticated, it's got some heat mapping on it so you can see how far down the page that somebody gets. Maybe. But all you really get is X amount of people visited the page, X amount of people bought,
Yeah.
X amount of people didn't buy. But the bit you're missing is this. Why did the people who went to your page with positive intention to find out about your products or services not buy? Why? Because that's what you need to find out if you're going to build a business, is why, right? Otherwise, you run around doing aimless, unending testing in circles, putting time, effort, huge amounts of money often into something, hoping that you hit the jackpot and get it right. Here's a great thing, David. If I say, do you like Guinness as a drink, right? Do you like Guinness? You do,
Yeah.
right? Okay, cool. Okay, let's, I know. What's something? You're fussy around your food. Do you like fried eggs?
No.
Excellent. Now, if I had a fried egg website that David went to, right, he's just said no. But what I don't get the opportunity is to find out, David, for what highest positive purpose or for what reason do you not like eggs?
The stink.
So it's the smell, right?
Yeah.
Now, in all of these automated systems that we go and use, funnels, social media, email addresses, so on and so forth, right? What you don't get to find out is the reason why.
That's right. You don't. And what you've got on here on this slide, Rob, we've got like, if you send 1,000 people to a funnel, by the way, the stats I'm using on this slide, you might think they're scary. They're true, right? If you send people to, if you get 10% of a cold list, cold people who've never been to your website before, then you're doing good, right? So you send 1,000 people to a funnel, 10% enter their details, that's 100. But you need to do a double opt-in, right? So about a third of those, they receive the email from you, but they don't actually click on the button to get the information. So you lose some, right? And then Aweber and MailChimp, they're the two leading autoresponders out there. They say that the average email open rate is 20%. So it works out that when you send 1,000 people to a funnel, Rob, you're only going to get about 15 people opening your emails. That is stunning. And they're not buyers. They're people that are opening. So rather than sending 1,000 people to a funnel, what Rob and I say is, what if you could have 100 conversations with people, 100 chats? Not talking discovery call, 100 chats. Because if you had 100 chats with 100 people who like your stuff, right, who needs the transformation that you offer, right? They need it. And it's $1 a day. I mean, come on. Let's lowball this. If you go out there and speak to 100 divorced dads who want to improve communications with their kids, who they only see twice a fortnight, and because they don't want their kids just sitting there like that, and you tell them, look, dads, we can make your 2 days a fortnight absolutely fantastic and special. You speak to 100 dads, you're going to get at least 20 in the group. The likelihood is you probably get somewhere between 33 and 50. Once you start getting good at this, you probably can start to get 60 or 70 out of 100. It's easier to go and have a chat with 100 people, and you might be thinking, I don't know 100 people like that. But you do. This doesn't have to rely on social media, does it, Rob? We can go and look at the people who we've got in our phone, these local groups and networking and things like that. Literally, go and speak to a group of 5 people. Go and speak to a group of 6 people. We have a client who's just started to go into people's homes. You don't have to do this, right? Just go to start to people's homes and having a party with them. Not like a party, but like you're there for an hour and a half.
Tupperware party.
Like a Tupperware party, exactly like a Tupperware party, and about to sign clients up. Do you know any other dads in the same position as you? Do you know any other business managers in the same position as you? Do you know any other divorcees in the same position as you? Blah, blah, blah. We can go out there and we can meet these people. and our conversion rate absolutely skyrockets by having conversations. Facebook groups and Facebook challenges and funnels, you need very, very deep pockets.
Well, you do. And one of those people with deep pockets, if you're into marketing at all, anybody on here, you'll have heard of Frank Kern.
Yeah.
Frank at the moment is saying he makes one $1,000 sale for every 12,000 emails sent.
Wow.
Right. And I just want you to want to hit, I'll repeat that again. One $1,000 sale for every 12,000 emails sent. So I just want you to hold on to that. Like if email, David and I aren't saying that this stuff can't work. Like I want to put that out there. We're not saying that email lists can't work. Frank Kern is the best email marketer on planet Earth. That's his results, right? Yeah. To a warm email list, people who know of him, he's famous, right? He's got books. If you're in the marketing world, he's a world-class guru. He's equivalent to like maybe Tony Robbins or Brendan Bouchard in like the personal development world, like one of those sorts of people. Like he's that level of status in the marketing world, and that's what he's getting. Now, David, what I want to hone in on is if that's what the best in the business globally email marketing is getting, right? What is Rob or David or George or Jessica likely to get? 1 in 24,000, 1 in 36,000? And then, is it worth it?
Well, look, I'd like to, you asked a great question. Is it worth it? But if it's okay, I'd like to move on to the next slide.
Of course.
I'd like to talk about group coaching, because what we are doing is we're not asking you to obviously bring these people in at $1 a day and you do one-to-one content. No, it needs to be group coaching. But I know that some people go, Rob, I may as well just do this in a Facebook group. Why should I charge for this? And what if people don't turn up? And we have a client, Lauren, and he's come out with some very interesting statistics this week with us, and not everybody turns up, but the transformations that he gets are great. And I call it conscious accountability, Rob. So we've got a group, fantastic. Let's say we've got 50 people in that group, but only 10 people turn up. Rob, does it matter?
Not at all. I want to tell you a really interesting thing, David. So one of our clients, Edward, in fact, we saw Edward earlier on in this presentation. He's a weight loss expert, right? He uses hypnosis and diet and all sorts of fancy stuff. And I've joined his Facebook, his Facebook. I've joined his $1 a day group. Sorry, I got lost. I've joined it. It's in my phone. And for all sorts of reasons, health being one of them recently, I've struggled to do the weight loss stuff. Every single time he posts something to me going, hey, Rob, how's your intermittent fasting going? I'm like, oh, gosh. Yep, I'm going to fast tomorrow. Hey, Rob, how's this going? Hey, Rob, is your wife going to join you? Hey, Rob. And I'm like, oh, my goodness me. And so I think conscious accountability is about helping me stay accountable to something I am determined to do, right? Which is lose weight. It's about gentle nudges in the right direction to keep the thing that I want to achieve at the very front of my mind so that I can take steps towards it, right? I even have a little bit of, just like if you hadn't done your homework at school, do you remember that guilt of the teacher's going to ask you for it? When I get a message from Edward and I haven't done my fasting thing this morning, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to tell him. And I don't on occasions, but it's fine. But I'm losing weight slowly but surely, nicely and steadily, healthily, not at a rapid rate of knots. I'm in control. But now when anybody says to me, hey, you look like you've dropped a size round the waist, I'm like, yeah, I've got this great guy, Edward. He runs a coaching group. It's just $1 a day to go and lose weight. Like, if you're interested in doing it, it's easy. I can introduce you right now on my phone. He gets a new client.
But when you use the impact to income method that we've created here, your clients don't always have to turn up when you're there. You see, the thing is this, they're aware they're paying that $1 a day. Now you can drop them a little broadcast message like Rob's just been talking about, and that they can tune into that. But when they're in your group, they also get something very special from you, and it's called a nagging little voice, and it sits in here. They will start to make a transformation because they are now more conscious about it. This is the conscious accountability. They were conscious about the problem before, but now we've gone into conscious accountability. And because they're paying you $1 a day or $2 a day, whatever you want to charge, it nags in here. So if they don't turn up every day, that's not a problem. The second hidden golden nugget about impact to income, the method that we use. This is perhaps the best time-saving secret in the market, and we have erred on it a few minutes ago. The funnels, Rob, and the challenges, and the email lists, and the Facebook groups. Or when I want to go and do a podcast, so I need to go and get people to listen to my podcast, and I want to go and write a book, so I need to go and get people to buy that. Oh, I think a YouTube channel would be great, so I need to go and get followers to that. Rob, it all takes time. It all takes time, and what we're doing is replacing that time with simple conversations.
It doesn't matter what you do in your business, right? You always need customers.
Yeah.
Right. A business is only as good as the number of customers in the business. So if you decide that you want to go and run a retreat in Timbuktu for 14 customers to do this, do that, and I don't know, whatever it may well be, you're going to go and have to find those 14 customers. If you decide you want to offer 12 one-to-one coaching sessions a week, you're going to have to go and find those. It doesn't matter what it is you do, you're going to have to go and find the customers. And where better, David, to go and get your customers from a group of people who are already committed to their transformation.
Yeah.
They already know, like, and trust you. They already know if they pay you some money, they get some results. And they're a captive audience to say, I've got a great idea. But here's something better than that, David. Mm-hmm. How about if we even just listen to them and say, what about a retreat? Any ideas about where you'd like to go to? And they go, oh, actually, Cognac, France. So you're like, cool. Well, I guess I'll run the retreat to Cognac, France then, because the customers have requested it from you. Suddenly, it's very hard for those customers to back out after saying, I'd like a retreat to Cognac, France. How do they say no to coming on it when it's their idea? They've led the way. Because after all, David, whose transformational journey is it really? It's not the coaches, it's the clients. So David, I want to quickly talk about another group member we've got, another coach we've got. So we've got Marcius, who's a wealth coach.
Yes.
And Marcius is in South Africa, and he's got 96 people in his wealth group at this point in time. Okay. He charges $2 a day, which means if you can do any maths, that's roughly $6,000 a month. In terms of time, he does a 2-minute video every day into his group on a habit around building and managing wealth, both physically and psychologically for people, and does a Tuesday morning, early morning presentation / group coaching session with a bit of Q&A for them. Yep. $6,000 for what effectively is 3 hours work a week.
Wow.
His group is currently growing, or last week grew at 9 group members, of which Marcius didn't sell to anybody or even ask for any group members. Group members are saying to Marcius, oh, I met so-and-so. Would it be all right if they joined? What's the link they need?
So no selling.
Yeah.
No selling. And what was that thing earlier about charge what you're worth? Let's go straight out the window.
That's it. So on top of that, currently, I told you last week, Marcius said he had a good month last month. He made another $11,500 on top of that $6,000 in February by people saying, I want to work with you more. How much do you charge? Right? No, so this isn't pie in the sky stuff. This saves you time. It saves the customer time. There's no selling needed. Do you know what Marcius is speaking to me about now?
Instant buyers, by any chance?
Yeah, well, interestingly, so he put a poll in his WhatsApp group, because I'm in his WhatsApp group, saying, I really want to run a 2-day seminar in Johannesburg. It's going to cost, if I do it, it's going to cost about 6,000 Rand each. That's about $600 each for the weekend. Anybody in?
Bing, bing,
74 people said 100% yes, send us the link in the WhatsApp poll, right? 74, done, out of his 96. He then went in and said, right, if we do this, what would you really like? So one thing is, like, that some of his group know I'm his business coach, so we want Rob to be there. It's like, cool, I'll pay for Rob. What else do you want? Oh, I want to do some psychological stuff. What else do you want? Right, that exact program you want is what we're doing on these days. I'll send the link out next week. It is, David, instant buyers.
Absolutely instant buyers. I got the same story for you as well. So when I first moved into this house, we needed a new kitchen. As most of you know, I live in France, and I wanted to go back to Mansfield to see my friends. And Emily, my wife, she said, "Are you only going to go back there if you're going to go make some money?" So I just dropped a message out to my clients, the Royal subscribers, and I said, "Hey, look, I'm going to be in Mansfield this weekend. I'm going to put an event on. This is what it's going to cost." Exactly the same thing. By the way, I sold 52 in one night. 52. I actually had to go back to the company where I was going to rent the room from and ask about how big the classroom size was. And it was the class only fitted 30, but they could open some doors at the back to get 50 in. So that's what we did. And so I've just got them all in there. This is instant buyers. You see, the thing that we've got with discovery calls and stuff like that, it's a case of, well, you know, I need to think about it. I need to discuss it with my husband. I need to discuss it with my wife, which is a very, very normal and standard thing for people to say. And it's true. And if they're going to go out there and spend $2,000, $3,000 or $5,000. However, to join your $1 a day group, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll join it. No problem. Now, they're in your group, Rob. They've been in there for a few days, a few weeks, and they're really liking you. And they say to their husband or wife, you know, I need this extra thing. I've got the right person. I've been paying this person $1 a day for the last 3 weeks or last 6 weeks, whatever it is. This guy's brilliant. Partner's going to go, right, okay, well, you have been speaking about them quite a bit. So, and you will. You'll be speaking about... So... Let's say Claire's in your group, and Claire is talking to her partner over the next few weeks about how fantastic your group is. And Claire goes to her partner, I think I need to up my game here and go and work with you. Partner's like, yeah, well, it sounds like you're having a great time with it anyway. Fine with me. All that's taken place. It's like gets on the phone. Claire's there ringing you on the phone going, I need to join you. Instant buyers. No selling is needed. We don't need to sell. We shouldn't have to sell.
David, when I think about when I make a purchase with my wife, when I'm making a purchase, it's one of those ones I need to speak to my wife, Kerry, about. And it's for something that is non-tangible. So a car is very tangible, right? It's a Ford Ranger with 4 wheels, this size engine. You can see it on the website, blah, 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 blah. It's like baked beans on the outside, baked beans on the inside. Yeah. You know, she's quite all right about it. When it comes, though, to stuff that is not that tangible, which really in honesty is all what coaching has great promise, but actually it's not that tangible to the person's partner. Yeah. So they're like, well, are you sure? Can they really get those results for you? Is it a con? I know so-and-so who tried to do so-and-so with somebody different and they didn't work for them, blah, 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 blah. Well, what if you're in Edward's weight loss group and you say, look, I've already lost 15 kilos in weight, but I'm really, really struggling with my sleep. And I know I'd lose more weight and become healthier if I could just go and have 2 or 3 hypnosis sessions with him to help me with my sleep. Look, Edward's already done this for me. The person goes, the coach has already proven himself. Of course you can.
Our client, Doran, you can see the slide on here. It was on Wednesday night this week. and exactly the same situation as Edward. And he said, I don't have to sell. Shadow work is what he does. He said, I don't have to sell. I just tell people about my group. He's actually just come back from Colombia, hasn't he? He's been on a wonderful retreat, and like people are just like, Darwin, can I join your $1 a day group? Like, yeah, sure. And he said that happens, but once they're in my group, people just phone me. Oh right, I need to move on to the next slide. It's just, this is what the impact to income method does. It reduces your time massively. It reduces the pressure. It creates your recurring income. You don't have to worry about discovery calls. You don't have to worry about selling. You don't have to worry about objection handling or anything like that. You don't have to worry about creating a new challenge or a new group. You don't have to worry about, giving yourself for free in a huge area in the hope that, putting your net out there in the hope that you may get some fish or anything like that. It is this. Whoever you are right now watching this, what is the person you help? Who is that person who you help, and what with? Let's just slim that down very, 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 very slightly. Okay, let's just slim it down. So let's just say that you are a divorce coach, and that's the big thing that you do. And this transformation that you're going to help them with is just one thing inside that, just one thing. And do you know anybody who needs help with this one thing? Yes, I do. It's me. Yes, I do. It's my sister. Yes, I do. I've got friends like that. Would you like to come and give it a go? That's it. Would you like to come and give it a go? It's only $1 a day. Yeah, all right. Okay, why not? Why not? So if you've been out there selling $250 products, $500 products, $1,000 coaching packages, $2,000 packages, once you start working with us, this is an absolute walk in the park. If you are, Rob, if you're whacked out right now with living in this chaos, remember Katerina right at the very beginning. My life before I met you and Rob, David, everything was misinformation and chaos. Now it's just so easy. I'm not stuck. It's so easy. And that's what it is. Somebody's put down, I think it's Garrett, what a paradigm shift. I don't like selling, never have. Right. Okay. So there are two types of client that join us, Rob. We've discussed, I was having a glass of wine earlier today while Rob was banging nails into his chicken coop. And we know there's two types of client. We don't mind which position you come in to join us. You've either got client A or client B. Rob, can you explain that a little bit for us?
Yeah, or maybe you're a blend of the two, right? There's also that as well. But we're very well aware that people hit glass ceilings as they progress through the world, right? Yeah. Coaches do as well as we grow our business. After all, let's be honest about it. Most coaches trained and qualified to be a coach. They didn't train to sell. They didn't train to build a business. They didn't train to do marketing, so on and so forth. And so as we go up through our business, we hit certain glass ceilings. We can see what the opportunity is on the other side, and yet we can't quite touch it and realize it. So we have two clients who join us. One is clients who realize they've currently hit a glass ceiling, and they would like some support breaking through that glass ceiling where they know that it's as much them as it is what they sell, right? Yeah. Or what they would like to have clients buy. There's other people who are like, do you know what? I'm actually a bit lost. What I'd really like to do is to refine what I do into something that makes sense for the customers. I'd like to truly align it in business terms. I'd like to create a sustainable business, and I'm ready to get cracking and market it tomorrow.
That's Melissa.
And then, like Melissa, yeah. And Doron as well, and then there's people who end up filling in both camps. They're like, get going with their business, and they get 30, 40, 50 people into their business and it's going really, really nice. And suddenly they hit their own limiting belief and they go, oh my goodness me. Joanna last week would be a great example of a, oh my goodness me person.
Yeah, me too. I'm that.
Yeah. And then it's time to actually get the support you need to go and work through those mental blockers.
That is a huge thing. This is not just marketing. You may well have been in marketing a program before and got stuck, recognized there was a level of quality that was there, but you couldn't move beyond it. And you've gone, I've left that program. It was a good program. It wasn't their fault. It was mine. When you work with us and when you work with Rob, that doesn't happen. We help you move past it.
Because business knowledge and marketing knowledge in and of itself is critically important, right? But if we can't physically or mentally find the self-confidence to go put it into practice or overcome the fears that it involves or whatever it is that we've learned in our past that's blocking us, if we can't work past that, the business knowledge just becomes like the book that you buy that you don't execute on or take action on the knowledge inside of it.
Certainly becomes the chaos as well, doesn't it? Because the business just reflects our life back at us and it doesn't, we don't feel good.
That's it. You know, David, I was talking to Edward, the weight loss guy who these folks met earlier today. I was talking to him this morning. And he's like, Rob, they can get the diet bit and everything else I do with them everywhere. What they can't get is the support to put all of that knowledge effectively into practice and do it beneficially for themselves consistently. And that's what David and I are passionate about with people who we work with, is this isn't just a one-stop shop marketing solution that says do X, Y, and Z and the world will be fine. It's actually recognizing we're all humans and we will all hit glass ceilings and we'll all need support to come through them. And we give you that support as well as the business structure, the marketing, and everything else that you need to build the lovable, fun business that we know you deeply desire.
Yeah, and that's, you know, have that lovable time for you, for your family, for your clients. Bring those clients in. Give them the time and the opportunity to get to know you and make transformations from home where they then pick up the phone and say, I want to join your retreat. I want to buy this product, or I want some one-to-one time with you. And give space for your clients to turn into ambassadors. It's just essential, you know. And please remember this: the transformations are made through their commitment. You know, it's that $1 a day, it's that $2 a day, and the impact to income program here, our method here, it doesn't require them to go and speak to their partner. It means that you don't need to have these Facebook groups, whatever you're not. We can just say, hey, do you want to come and join my $1 a day group? Now, this is Scott. I'll just quickly whiz past Scott in a second here. But he says here, I don't like the hustle and grind. I want to be with my family. If I wanted to create a job, I'll just go out and get another job, you know, without the hassle of running a business. He's absolutely right. How many of us here going out there to create jobs? Now, of course, if you want to go and do this yourself, go and have a crack at it. But Rob, here's our invitation for everybody to come and work with us. But there's no buy now button, by the way. There's no buy now button because I'm not going to jump on a sales call with you. Neither is Rob. We're not going to do that. But you'll probably have some questions. And you need to ask those questions. I'm here for you. I'll take those questions. I'll answer them. And then I'll say to you, go and think about it. Go and sleep on it. Rob, shall we have a look at this very, very exciting invitation to work with us? Because actually, I think it's a world beater. I think this is outstanding. I've seen offers out there, and then I've seen us. So what are they getting, Rob?
That's it. So it's every month. Like, can you imagine having your coaches in your pocket? effectively, that's what you get when you join us. You get David and I in a WhatsApp group with you. Whenever you get stuck, whenever you have a problem, as long as we're awake and we're not coaching somebody else, there's a caveat in that, obviously. You get to go, I'm struggling with this, please help. I need 3 minutes of motivation. Fantastic. We'll give you 3 minutes of motivation. I need a quick question to ask somebody. We'll help you build a question. I'm stuck. I want help. Or I just want to, like Deron did today. I've got person 39 in my group. Let's celebrate. Imagine having your coaches in your pocket 24/7. That's the very first thing you get when you decide to work with David and I.
Yeah.
The next thing is two one-to-one coaching sessions a month where you get to choose how you use them. If you want more structure, we build structure. If you say, I'm struggling to go and do X, Y, and Z, I need to help getting out of my own way, then we do a life coaching session. And why life coaching? What I really mean is my profession, which is an elite performance coaching session. We throw the kitchen sink at helping you put into practice everything you've got and ensuring you get the results in the quickest possible time frame to go do that. You choose how those sessions are used. And David, tell me about these two group sessions that we do each week, the Wednesday mastermind session and the Thursday live Q&A.
Well, we want to have a mastermind in there. I think it's very important that the way that we learn, our clients learn directly from us, obviously, but then it's bringing everybody to that table so we can learn from each other as well. And we have a minimum of 4 sessions. We've got a minimum of 4 sessions because, yes, obviously, sometimes we're 5 weeks in a month, but also sometimes we go, hey, we don't do the mastermind sessions this week. What we're going to do is we're going to have 5 sessions this week, Monday to Friday. And over the last 6 months, I think we've done that 3 times, 3 times so far. So
first full week of January, I think we did 6 live sessions in a week just because we didn't like it.
Because we could, just because we wanted to, and just added that extra value. Then on the Thursday, the Q&A is fab. Now, of course, you've got the triangular, the direct 3-way chat with Rob and I, where you can ask your questions at any time. But the live Q&A on a Thursday is fab as well. By the way, these sessions, both the mastermind and the live Q&A, they're both recorded. So if you can't make it, that's okay. They're saved and they're sent back to you. The live Q&A is really, really cool because we find, and we've asked this, a lot of the attendees don't have a question. They come to listen. Then, once hearing what the conversations are happening, because everybody's in the same boat, they go, oh, actually, I've got a question now. So so what they're doing is they may not have an immediate question, but by being in the environment of our clients, they are learning things that what we call the don't knows. No, it exists, but it's just beyond what they're looking at right now. And then they can create a question for themselves. Brilliant. We can just move them on nice and fast. I can't see the bottom of the slide there, but I do know what it says. The total value, by the way, each month is $5,000 a month, but all we're asking for is $1,000 a month, $1,000. That's it, USD. So if you're in the UK, it's even less. I don't know, it's $850 or something like that. I'm not quite sure what it is in the UK. I'll have to find what that is, but it's $1,000 a month. It is peanuts to have 2 world-class coaches in your pocket working with you. Okay, absolutely working with you. Now, there is no buy now button tonight. I don't want a buy now button, but what you do is you contact me. David, I want to have a conversation with you about this. I've got a few questions. I'm going to take that phone call with you. I'm going to listen. I may even ask you a couple of questions to be able to contemplate as well in reference to your questions. And then I'm going to say this to you. Will you sleep on it, please? The reason why is this. It's very important that you come into us with the right energy. I've seen these sell from the back of the room type webinars where people are taking the cash left, right, and center. And I don't like it. I don't like it because of FOMO, fear of missing out. You'll know there's no special offer here. I don't want you joining us because there's a special offer. I want you to join us because you know that between the three of us, you, myself, and Rob, you can progress. And if that means you need to sleep on it for the night, I want you to go and sleep on it for the night. I want you to have the right energy. Now, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of nerves, because nerves are also can get disguised as being excitement as well. But I want you to be absolutely open with us. The way I come back to you on that is this. Rob and I will be completely and open and transparent with you. If we do not believe that we can support you, because I don't know where you're standing right now, I don't know what you've got to bring to the table. If we don't believe that we can help you, we will explain that to you. It's about the right energy. That's it. If you are building your business and you've gone out there and got a few clients and you put a hard shift in and you're tired and you're exhausted and you don't know where to go and you've looked at all the rubbish out there, and it's not rubbish, that's wrong, but you've gone out there and looked at the funnels and the emailing lists and the Facebook groups and everything else, you've got an idea who you want to work with. You want an idea of the transformation, but what you want to do now is to make this happen a little bit quicker. You want to be sure-footed. You want to have the right foundations in it. Come and work with us. Come and work with us, and it'll be cool. Now, I've got one more slide to share with you. It's kind of sexy, right? No, I haven't. It's gone. This is not this. I was going to tell you about something else.
It's the next one. Send to the next one.
It could be the next one, unless this could be the last one, actually.
No, it's not. I've got it open in front of me. There's another one, David.
Right. Some people don't join because they don't have the time. Well, we create the time. Some people don't join because they don't have the content. Well, actually, we'll sit down with you and work with you so you've got the content. Some people say, David, my coaches don't like group coaching. Well, actually, we've proved tonight everybody likes group coaching. Why? Because they can go away and think about things and do it for themselves. They don't have to be active participants. Just because they are not engaged doesn't mean that group coaching isn't working. You know what? What if I don't like it? Well, guess what? It's about your clients. And what's not to like? Because we're saving you time. There's no need to sell anymore. There's no need banging your head against a blinking wall. So let's come to this very sexy slide right at the end, which is entitled Fancy Coming to Our Retreat. Rob, can you handle this slide? Because my voice is going.
I can. We wanted to put together a super sexy, all singing, all dancing opportunity for people where we actually charged less than $1,000 a month on average across the year, right? That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to go and put it together. And David and I both live in super cool places. David lives in Cognac in France, where they make cognac. In fact, the Hennessy factory, you've probably heard of Hennessy Cognac, is like 250 meters from David's front door in this beautiful old historic town in France that was built just after the Romans. So it's a few thousand years old, it's there. And I live on top of a mountain in South Africa. It's dark outside now, but if it was daylight, I would have monkeys swinging in the trees, parrots chirping away. And if I drive just a little way from here, we can have elephants and lions as well. And so we would want to put together a package where we can offer you everything we just told you, David and myself, in your pocket, right? Consistently. Your coaching sessions a month, your mastermind sessions on Wednesdays, your Thursday Q&A, but equally included in this package, we want to invite you to come on one of our yearly retreats to France to spend time with David at David's house, or David's staying in Cognac with David and myself, or to South Africa to come and experience the animals and have true huge transformations with David and myself. We normally charge about $5,000 for that, and we're going to throw that in to our yearly package. So the total value of the year package, including the retreat, all the coaching and whatever else, is $65,000. Your investment into you and your business's future. is just 10,750. And all you need to do is fly yourself to France or South Africa for the retreat, and you're there taking part with it. Now, there's one thing that we haven't mentioned in either of these slides about our offer, David, and that is growing your business as a coach can be lonely. Right? Most coaches work in isolation. And yes, you get David and I to be friends with, and we get to go hang out with each other, and we get to talk and whatever else. The thing that we also do for you is give you full access to our Going Beyond the Illusion community, full of coaches who are on the same journey that you are on. They are serious about growing their coaching business for themselves and their families to have a quality of life that is world-class. They are serious about spreading that world-classness into their clients. So their clients get to have epic transformations, incredible results, and an amazing life. They are as serious as you are about doing what it is that you do just for their customers. And so we actually also throw in the opportunity for you to be part of their community, to get to know them, to befriend them, to learn from them, to get support and guidance from them, and equally maybe to collaborate at some point in time in the future. David, you're muted at the moment, just so you know. And then there's one other thing, David, that we haven't put in here. I want to put in as well. We also have a partner with us, Katerina, who we mentioned earlier, who has an incredible business that she does a networking event. And we also enable you to attend that networking event to enable you to network, to find yourself customers as well. So we believe we have got the full suite that any one person needs to go and build themselves a sustainable coaching business that provides incredible impact to the world and an incredible income to the coach. Everything from what's going on in your head to what's going in your pocket to community, friendship, belonging, and impact beyond your wildest dreams. So if you want an opportunity to work with us, I'd encourage you to go and drop David a line and go, hey, David, I'd love to have a chat. It's not a sales meeting. It's not a discovery call. It's simply a, David, I'd like to find a way of working with you and starting in the next week to 3 weeks. I'd love to have a conversation about starting work with you and Rob in the next 1 to 3 weeks. I've got these questions. Can you help me with these questions? And David will help you. And then, as he said, he'll say, now you've got your answers. Please go and sleep on it. And then come back to me if this is the fit that's right for you. Because we're coaches. We're not salespeople. We're here to coach, to offer value, just like you are. We're the same as you. And we don't do sleazy used car salesman meetings with people. Your choice, your future, your investment, your coaching, your quality of life. David, thanks for including me this evening so generously. And how would you like to wrap this up for our beautiful people who are here with us?
I think everybody ought to stay awesome. I think the right thing to do is just drop me a line. Get in touch right now for those that are still here. And I look forward to listening to you and working with you. Rob, thanks very much to you and your family for spending the time with us tonight. Thank you for everybody that's been on here and sending some wonderful comments. I do love the one down here about the paradigm shift. I don't like selling. If you want to give back to your family, if you want to build a business, if you want to take care of yourself, if you want to increase your impact and to do this properly, by the way, there's no other investments needed. So, there's no other tech or anything like that. Let's do this. Let's be sensible about it and let's do it. I love you and leave you. Thanks very much. Rob, cheers, mate.
Stay awesome. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.